Welcome to the GigRoots podcast. Zora Dawson runs IZB Naturals, offering a line of products that promote healthy skin and natural beauty. She's got big dreams for her business, and she wants to use her brand to help promote togetherness, positivity, and celebrate beauty in all of its aspects. But that's not easy with all the ugliness that's being spread around these days. But Zora remains resilient and determined, and she hopes to bring others along in the journey. Tell me about what your goals are over the next 30 days.
Next 30 days, my goal. So I have a personal goal of just how many orders kind of I push out in a day. So the next 30 days, then I should be able to push out at least 3,000 orders. I try to make small goals for myself just to keep progressing in business. So alongside of that, I also joined the 5x5. It's kind of like Shark Tank. It's like a small Shark Tank. It's really cool. So you can compete with four other people with the chance of win $5,000 towards your business. So I just applied for that, and that'll be on May 26th. So that's in the next 30 days as well. So I'm hoping I get that $5,000.
That would be nice. So tell me about your business again. You said you're selling beauty products, right?
Yeah. So IZB Naturals is an all natural beauty skincare line. So within that, I sell kind of like facials, more like a spa. I do soap, all natural soap bars, and then I also do like an oil moisturizer, just things to make people feel beautiful. And I only use plant-based natural products from our earth, so it's no possible way it can harm your skin.
How'd you get into that?
I was in the medical field in 2016/2017. I'm a registered medical assistant, so I thought that was what I wanted to do, was go, kind of be a nurse, work in a hospital. While I was in school, we kind of learned about skincare. We had a full course. It was probably a month or two long. And I was just super interested in it, just learning about what helps our skin, what doesn't help our skin, just like your diet, things that can throw off your skin health. And that's where it kind of all stemmed from. I just decided I woke up one day and I was like, I make this into a business.
Okay, so I'm assuming, are you working right now as well then? You have a regular job?
No, I'm actually just running my business as of right now.
Okay, so you're an entrepreneur full time.
Yes, full time.
Okay. And what have been your challenges right now?
Oh my gosh. I have daily challenges all the time. I mean, just being in customer service, kind of dealing with people, it's a great thing because, it kind of opens you up. You get to learn new things about yourself as well as other people. But it also comes with challenges, just making people happy. I think owning a business is 100% about other people, not always about yourself. So you kind of have to be selfless and think about others. So just definitely customer service is my top, number one thing. Other than that, I used to have a really bad problem with like marketing, trying to like push my products, trying to, just get people to build that customer trust with people. But I feel like I've kind of turned that around and mastered that a little bit. So yeah, those are probably some of the challenges I deal with on a daily basis.
So how are people finding out about you right now?
Honestly, word of mouth is huge right now. I'm in a lot of like beauty groups. I've had a lot of kind of bigger people in Grand Rapids that have a bigger quote unquote fan base that have used my products and put it in their YouTube videos and just made maybe just like regular day-to-day videos just using my products. So that's kind of how it's getting out. Just social media is super big for my business right now. Instagram and Facebook is probably my number one sales where my number one sales come from.
All right, so a lot on Instagram. That's interesting. And then
Yes.
Are your products available in any stores right now?
No stores as of now, but after COVID-19, I definitely have a lot of people that want to get my products in their stores. So I've been chatting up with a lot of people about that. But right now, just mostly available on website. I used to kind of do like curbside pickup, but I kind of changed that just because of everything that's going on right now.
what have been some of your biggest mistakes? I mean, you talked about a couple of those things. You said early on you're trying to figure some things out. Just give me a little bit more specifics as far as like the marketing and some of the things you were trying to do.
It's just marketing. All in all, is just. I mean, it's kind of like either you got it or you don't, or you have to learn it. So, just certain ways to like learning different ways to push my products and how that looks for other people. So it's kind of like you have to like, it's like a whole out of body experience. You have to kind of like pull yourself out of what you know and what you're used to. And you have to think about what other people would want to see, you know, like how they would want to portray your product. So it was kind of like just trying to master that was really hard at first. Also coming up with just like the perfect recipe for my products, just to make sure that they're good for everyone's skin, not just one person. And then to be completely honest with you, kind of branching out and getting customers of different ethnicity or different backgrounds was kind of hard for me, because to see me as an African-American woman, you know, owning a skincare business, that kind of, not going to say scares other people, but they're kind of just like, oh, well, your products must only be for, you know, people of African American descent. So kind of trying to grasp that other crowd as well, which I just kind of started doing this year in 2020. It was super difficult at first, just explaining that to people. That was probably like the number one question I was always getting when I first kind of started my business.
Yeah, and I imagine, I mean, as your business continues to try and grow, that's gonna be an ongoing challenge to try to reach across the aisle, if you will, to different people groups. But
Yes.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think, you know, it gets into the whole idea about we have these different conceptions of beauty in society, right? So
Hmm.
we
Yes.
you know we have sort of different depictions of what beauty means even. So how do you see your business speaking to that?
Definitely just I would just say that my products being able to work for everyone's skin, not just one person, you know, and just always maybe like speaking up for not just one group of person, you know, just being able to speak up for every group of just people, just knowing that we might all look different, but you know, there's this one thing, that this common denominator that we can come together and all agree on, that, you know, everyone wants to be beautiful. Everyone wants to have good skin and good health. So just having that common denominator, something to all agree with, although we are all different.
What sort of challenges have you seen just within, say, the local community, for instance, in terms of trying to bring people together?
Oh, I feel like Grand Rapids is just like a different type of city. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What do you
But
mean by
the
that?
challenges, um honestly, to be 100% honest, I think a lot of people are just not that far. Like, Grand Rapids is a smaller city, so I feel like we're behind in a lot of things. So I mean, we're progressively moving, definitely, but I think there's a lot of things that we could do more, like maybe coming together as far as community work, like just being in the community. So my business, I do a lot of community work just to kind of bring people together. I've done a lot of giveaways. I've been on the news a couple of times, just giving away, like doing clothing drives and that type of thing. So um, I just think Grand Rapids, all in a whole, just we just need to like start coming together and working together as far as definitely entrepreneurship. So I try to collaborate with a lot of other entrepreneurs. Yeah, I guess that's all I could touch on without getting too deep. I just think Grand Rapids has a lot of growth to do, but I'm definitely here to help. Like, I'm here to kind of help the process move a little faster, I feel like, compared to other cities.
Yeah, well, I do want to go a little bit deeper on that, because you're touching on some very
Okay.
important things. I've
Yeah.
heard, you know, I'm new to Grand Rapids. I originally came from Chicago, but you know, I've heard one of the things about here is that in terms of a place to start a business, if you're a person of color, that the challenge is that much greater. I've heard that Grand Rapids is a
Yeah.
great place to settle down and raise a family, but in
Hmm.
terms of the business arena, the challenges for people of color to start businesses here are that much greater than others. So has that been your
Definitely.
experience as well?
Definitely. I love I'm African American and proud, love my people. But I think we're Black people just in a whole, we're a little bit behind on the whole spectrum of owning a business, being a business owner. So a lot of people of color don't know what it really takes to be a business owner. And so I think that we don't always get the support from our community and from our own people. So if we don't get the support from our own people, that means we have to branch off and get support from other people, you know? But it's kind of a little bit difficult to kind of build that in this community just because you don't have the support. It's kind of almost like you have to beg for it at some point, you know, or become this big person to kind of get that energy and get that support from your own people, which it's definitely sad, but it is what it is in this community. So that was a huge challenge for me, just kind of like building my brand in this city. Just being, like I said, an African American woman. People don't always take you serious. People don't always understand how serious you are about your business, just because there might be another person that looks like me. They might own a business, but they're not as serious. They're not pushing as hard as I am. So it shouldn't be a competitive field, but it definitely is a competitive field in Grand Rapids.
You feel like you have to compete for resources?
Definitely. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, like I mean, like things like, which I loved being in Stargarden Top 100. Just things like that kind of was an eye opener for me, just being a new business owner. Yeah, you really have to get out here and you have to like compete. You have to, if you have to network, you have to know people. If you don't know people, then it's kind of a little bit hard to get those resources. And I feel like a lot of people who want to start a business, they feel kind of maybe insecure, to just branch off and just start a business here because that it lacks that support from people. Like, I know a lot of people that don't even know a lot of these resources that are out here. They don't even know how to get connected to them. They don't know anything about them. So I think just as a city, we definitely need to kind of start screaming out our resources and helping other people to kind of chase their dreams, otherwise it's going to go unnoticed.
Have there been opportunities to collaborate strategically with others?
For me personally, for my business?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but I'm also a go-getter, so I don't let anything just stop me. Like I'm gonna, go through the maze, try to figure it out, get things done. So, but I definitely feel like for a person that's not like me, it would be a huge challenge. Yeah.
You don't want others to slow you down, is what I hear you saying.
Never. Yeah, that's never the case.
What are you envisioning for your business in the future?
Oh, I see big things for my business. I definitely see IZB Naturals being in a lot of kind of higher end stores, a lot of like malls, that type of thing. I also see my business branching off just as a brand, maybe being the first Black-owned spa in Grand Rapids, just for you to walk in and get everything that you need to get done and walk out. Just, we don't, that's something that we don't have in Grand Rapids right now. I know some Black-owned spas, but I don't know any Black-owned spas where you can walk in, just like I said, as an African-American woman or an African-American male, and just feel comfortable in a nice kind of upper class setting, and maybe sit down and get a facial and drink champagne and that type of such. So I see IZB Naturals growing into, a worldwide thing, but also helping young girls, just understand that natural beauty is always the best beauty. Like, you don't always have to put makeup on to feel beautiful, or that thing. I just seen it being just a big brand just helping others, at the end of the day.
Zora is just one of thousands of entrepreneurs out there working toward equity in the marketplace through business. There are millions of other micro-enterprises across the country bringing their products, services, and ideas to the marketplace. And when you shop with them, you help bring jobs and economic growth to the communities that need it most. Go to grassrootsgig.com to learn more. Follow us on social media and be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you do your streaming. I'm Ethan Daly, reminding you to shop in place, to buy local, and support grassroots entrepreneurship. We'll see you next episode.